Every forest has a clearing, and the island in the middle represents it. Some of our West African crowned crane with the pom-pom on the head have visiting mallards near them, but our great white, well, pink-back pelicans on the island right now are the only pelicans to actually perch in trees because of the bendable back toe. But to the right of the island behind us, you might see some of the little tan ones known as red-fronted gazelle. And as for the other two mammal species in here, definitely disappearing. Impossible to see. But then again, they're right. So as you look left, a nursing roan antelope enjoys a moment, as do we with the San Pasqual Valley as a backdrop. And everything downhill we'll try to give you a visual of that's closest to us that we've not mentioned.
Look, I got the shadow of them. And I got this shadow in the water.
If you stare out in the middle, you'll see some of the very delicate features of the greater kudu. The male has the curly horns, and in his lifetime the horns will spiral 3 times. The vertical stripes definitely create the illusion they're not there in the wild, and they look more like the reeds that they stand behind to assist them with that illusion. And as far as others in the hill, straight out in the middle, small tan ones, slenderhorn, a species we've returned to the outskirts of the Sahara. So where the 33 species we have returned to the wild include the California condors, there were only 27 of them left in '83. Now there are about 400 total, half of which have returned to the wild. So it's a great story, and one that encourages us to keep supporting others, even at the risk of saying, well, you know, some people think no, others say yes, and we don't give up. Looking down, you got some Ankoli cattle. To the tribes people, they're the wealth of the people. Therefore, they breed them simply for size as well as length of horn, which measures about 6 foot across from tip to tip. And of course, additionally, they never eat them. It's their wealth. So as we take a peek at them, we'll leave the Ankoli cattle and we'll go to the bottom of this hill, where we'll hopefully get a pretty good view of Grevy zebra next.
What I like to do is zoom out when you're driving.
But in order to see them, you've got to start looking down now, and when I stop, you'll be looking back over your shoulder on the left. And of course, any animals in separate enclosures are going to be more endangered. They are definitely, because only 2,000 of them left. And it is about land, because they're converting the floodplains of Africa to agriculture. So you cut right through their migratory paths. That cuts into their well-being for sure. And not knowing a great deal about Grevy zebra, our researchers are studying them and sending that knowledge back to the researchers in Africa to convince them to save the land for their migration. So hopefully it'll help. Looking from the Grevy zebra downhill, you'll see the Maasai giraffe more clearly, listening to everything.
I saw it.
But waiting for us to leave so we can trim the trees at 20 feet. Even though the keepers bring out acacia and hay and oats and alfalfa, and the dietitians put together all the nutrients they need, they go after the leaves on the trees and the weeds outside the fence. So there you go. Maasai giraffe. Gorgeous looking, dark in color, tight knit pattern. And the pattern on that species ends at the knees and goes solid from there on down. So it's pretty interesting.